Did you know that there's a system in your body that not only allows you to remember your fondest memory, but also makes sure you're breathing without having to think about it? I'll be discussing a few different parts of our nervous system and how they come together to transmit signals and perform all kinds of different functions. This past year, I took an anatomy class that taught me all 10 body systems and how they work together to maintain homeostasis. It's important we know how our own body works, like the process behind a thought or a memory. I'll discuss in two different parts those functions and how it maintains homeostasis in my speech today. Beginning with my first point, according to the Cleveland Clinic, our nervous system is made up of two different parts, the central and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. It's in charge of carrying and processing messages from the brain to the body. The brain is the most complex part of the human body, as it processes information that it receives from the senses. It contains the cerebellum, cerebrum, hippocampus, and all the lobes. The spinal cord, on the other hand, sends motor and sensory commands to the brain. It also helps in movements. The peripheral nervous system includes everything such as nerves and neurons that are in control of our motor and sensory functions. Some of the messages that are carried to the brain include sensory, which basically transmits information to your brain about smell, touch, taste, or anything that you see. Motor carries signals from the muscles to help you move or function, and autonomic helps regulate heart rate, blood pressure, and respiration. The nervous system controls and regulates all of the other body systems. In doing this, it also ensures that every system maintains a sense of sameness. So a few examples of this include the endocrine system, which stimulates glands to release hormones. With respiratory system, the autonomic nerves is what allows us to breathe without thinking. This is what's known as an involuntary nerve. A voluntary, on the other hand, would be like some kind of movement, like moving your arm, your leg, your body, whatever it may be. So another function of the nervous system is that it's also in charge of neurotransmitters, the chemicals that give you feelings. An example of this would be your happy chemicals, which include dopamine, endorphins, oxytocin, and serotonin. So dopamine and oxytocin are produced in the hypothalamus, a small region of the brain. And serotonin is produced in the intestines. This is because of its hormonal and endocrine actions, according to the National Institutes of Health. Endorphins, on the other hand, are created in both the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus, both of them located near the brain. So another point I wanted to include in this is aging. So as we begin to age, our brain and our spinal cords lose nerve cells. This creates an impact at the speed at which messages are passed in our body. So a main component of this are the neurons beginning to falter, the axons thin, and the dendrites begin to decrease. This in turn allows for memory fatigue to be a common effect on elderly people, as well as nervous diseases becoming increasingly common, such as Alzheimer's or Parkinson's in older people. So in conclusion, this is just a quick summary of an extraordinarily extensive system. Each system, part, and function all let us move about in our day-to-day lives. Understanding how we work is important and extremely crucial.